Hello, my name is Rachel King, Commissioning Editor for the CFO. I would like to welcome you to the second of this two-part series, where we'll be discussing how the use of new technology can help revolutionise the finance function. In this video, we will specifically be focusing on where efficiency gains can be made with regard to systems and software. The use of legacy products like Excel, for example, is arguably outdated for the world we live in now. I'm very pleased to be joined by Ian Rose, Senior Solutions Consultant at Sage, who knows the importance of why finance teams need to understand their business in real time to make better decisions. Welcome, Ian.
Thanks, Rachel. And thanks, everyone. It's great to be here. As Rachel said, I'm Ian, a Senior Solutions Consultant at Sage. I'm a part-qualified senior accountant, and my role at Sage involves understanding our customers' and prospects' businesses and their requirements, and making sure that we sell them the right thing. I talk with customers and organisations looking to change their accounting systems all the time. And one of the key things they talk about is that need to gain efficiency in their finance system.
So let's dive straight into the discussion, Ian. Obviously, you speak to accountants and finance teams on a day-to-day basis, and you will have seen how the role has changed considerably over the past couple of years. And some will still be using sort of outdated business processes or processes that are no longer fit for the world that we live in now. In your opinion, to what extent are these manual processes holding businesses back and preventing them from being able to grow?
Yeah, that's a really interesting sort of question there, Rachel. I mean, there are a number of ways that we see manual processes holding businesses back. I mean, let me give you a couple of examples. So from the perspective of a CFO, there is a lack of real-time data and insights. This means that the CFO can't get the data to help drive the business forward quickly. And also, they can't be led by that data. So if you're using tools like Excel for reporting, and incidentally, I don't think you'll ever get away from it. It's a really good tool, just not necessarily the best way for you to get your core financial numbers. But if you do that, it's not always that easy to look at the numbers in an ad hoc way. What else are they telling you? Are there any patterns coming up? Can you slice and dice them in a different way? If you're using tools such as Excel, you typically have to get the right information into Excel in the first place to start looking at it. It's time consuming and open to error. And another area that people struggle with is around approval processes. Every business has a need for some sort of approval, whether it's employee expenses or purchases. I mean, I'm guessing you have that, Rachel, for yourselves. If you have expenses, you have to get them approved and signed off by somebody. And once you've gone through that, if you're doing these things manually, there can be absolutely massive frustration. The invoice that I need signing has been lost somewhere around the business. My manager has mislaid the email because they've had so many, and there's no way for them to be reminded unless I chase them. And I don't really want to do that because I know they're busy.
I understand completely. I've been at the end of an audit trail before trying to chase people at different stages of the process. But as you say, sort of Excel is one of these software programs which is almost ingrained into every company across the world. So for those looking to sort of upgrade their software or move away from these types of programs, which are so embedded within culture and business in sort of day-to-day activities, what options are available for finance teams looking to sort of upgrade and move with the digital world that we're in?
Yeah, and look, there are a number of things that people can do to make those sort of changes. An obvious area that we see is around consolidations. If you're doing these in a tool such as Excel, it's time consuming. I've had businesses tell me that their consolidations can take weeks to carry out. And sometimes they only carry them out at year end for this very reason. They have to get the information into a spreadsheet, make sure that any intercompany balances balance, that any exchange rate calculations are correct. And all of this can be wrong if there is a single formula incorrect somewhere in the depths of that spreadsheet. Sometimes it's the actual validation of the data that takes all the time, not necessarily the creation of the reporting. And if you're using a modern accounting solution, you'll find that much, if not all of this, is actually automated by the solution. You can go from days or even weeks, as I mentioned a moment ago, to carry out a consolidation to as little as a day or less. It makes it much more straightforward.
Now, another challenge that businesses face when they look to upgrade various elements of their tech stack is interoperability. Now, you mentioned consolidation already, but those with many different programs floating around the business, they're often disparate, they're often siloed, and the thought of upgrading can be very daunting, especially if you've got one team looking to upgrade and the other one sort of saying, well, no, we actually find this program very useful for us. What are the risks for those businesses that choose not to modernize their software?
Well, if they're not looking to modernize their software, look, there are a number of things that can give them challenges. I mean, again, let me give you some examples. There's that lack of data, that real-time data that we've already touched upon. If you don't update your systems, it's very difficult to mitigate against that, especially if you're reporting in Excel and trying to pull together information from multiple systems. There are also time constraints. So I touched upon consolidations a moment ago. Some organizations have disparate finance systems or even the same finance system, but separate installations of it for different companies. That's really difficult to manage for consolidations. It takes time and it can slow down your month end, as can other manual processes, incidentally. It's also very difficult to streamline your processes. Most modern solutions come with a set of simple-to-use processes baked in. I would use those, incidentally. Don't try to add your old manual processes onto the system. It really doesn't work. The processes on a specific solution are designed to work in a specific way, and if you try to change that, you risk creating more complexity and difficulty for yourself. So, what can be improved and what will give them those challenges? Well, things like those consolidations and the time constraints on the month end, it really does give some challenges if they don't upgrade.
So the benefits are clearly there, and it sounds like the extent of those benefits will differ business to business. Now, you being in the role that you're in, you have your ear to the ground, you speak to people regularly. And Sage as a business has created several products and services catered to to solve those challenges and to help those finance teams start out on their journey. Where would you say Sage can help businesses the most?
There's a number of areas, Rachel. I mean, the solution that I deal with is Sage Intacct. And Sage Intacct has got built-in approval processes, simple and easy to use consolidations with auto eliminations, multi-currency, automated bank feeds, and a simple open API that makes it straightforward to link into other best-of-breed softwares for any areas that touch upon your finance function but aren't your core ledgers. So there are a number of ways that Sage Intacct can really help people going forwards or businesses going forwards, away from those manual processes and from those disparate systems.
Well, thank you so much, Ian. Obviously, the accountancy sector and the finance teams across many businesses are going through a change at the moment. So I'm sure this issue will evolve over the next couple of months, and we'd love to hear your insight moving forward. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Rachel. It's been great talking to you.
And thank you to our subscribers for tuning in and listening. Sadly, that is all we have time for today. But those eager to learn more about this topic and catch more of our video content, please visit the CFO Online and our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.